He uncovered global lies for a living, but missed the betrayal in his own bed. Hello, my friend. I'm so glad you stopped by the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and share this video. It helps the channel reach more amazing listeners like you. And let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. I read everyone. Now, let's begin. In the depths of high-stakes finance and covert intelligence, there existed a man whose name most people never knew, but whose actions changed the world from the shadows. His name was Adrian Voss, but even that might not have been his real name. To the few who whispered of him in backrooms and war rooms, he was known simply as the Cipher, a myth cloaked in fact, a ghost behind collapsed empires. He didn't bark orders, didn't fire weapons. All he needed were numbers and time. Offshore accounts froze. Multinational shell corporations dissolved. Entire regimes crumbled under his invisible hand. And yet, the most dangerous collapse of all began not with a mission, but with a woman. Her name was Delilah. To the world, Adrian Voss was a mild-mannered financial analyst, occasionally traveling for investment summits and consulting contracts. A background so plain, so tailored to forgetfulness, no one ever looked twice. For 12 years, Delilah was his constant. A partner, a confidant, the only person he ever allowed into the fortress of his personal life. But even then he kept the walls high. No marriage certificate, no joint accounts, no paper trail. Just memories, laughter, and a silent understanding. He told himself it was protection. For her. But the truth was, he simply didn't trust the world. He trusted her though. Or at least he wanted to. The unraveling began with silence. A phone no longer left unattended. A smile that lingered too long in thought. A tremble in her hand when he touched her. He didn't accuse. He didn't confront. That wasn't his way. Instead he observed. Listened. Studied the pauses between her words. Watched her eyes drift mid-sentence. Her affection became more intense. Almost desperate. Her laughter louder. Her gaze lingering longer. But Adrian knew better than anyone that guilt often masquerades as passion. And then came the phone. Once carelessly tossed on the counter, now gripped like a lifeline. Always face down. Always silent. He had seen the signs before. In foreign ministers, war criminals, and corrupt CEOs. But never at home. Never in the person who shared his bed. Still he said nothing. He simply prepared. He told Delilah he had a sudden trip, 2 days in Toronto for a closed-door strategy session. He kissed her gently, held her a second too long, then walked out the door. But he never left the city. He checked into a hotel 4 miles away, powered up his secured system, and began the kind of investigation that brought down global powers. Step 1, GPS trace on her phone. Step 2, call log analysis. And then, like a glitch in a perfect code, a number repeated over and over. Sometimes at midnight, sometimes early in the day. Always brief. Always unsaved. He ran the number. Built a profile. Elijah Hart. Former Marine. Stationed abroad for years. No criminal record. No red flags. Just a clean slate and a trail of digital interactions that painted a picture of something long buried, but very much alive. Photos. Shared events. A comment thread from 8 years ago with Delilah's maiden name tagged. A forgotten flame. Or maybe not so forgotten. And then came the message. Adrian watched it appear on his system in real time. He's out of town again. Same place. 7 p.m. Don't be late. Bella Fortuna. An upscale restaurant not far from their home. He didn't hesitate. Adrian arrived an hour early. Chose a vantage point. Set up optics. Synced audio. Every piece of surveillance calibrated. And then she arrived. Delilah. Wearing the blue dress he'd complimented 2 weeks prior. She smoothed it down, checked her reflection, smiled to herself, and walked inside. Elijah was already waiting. Their hug lingered. Their conversation flowed. They leaned in close. Shared inside jokes. Gestures spoke more than words ever could. It wasn't awkward or new. It was familiar. A rekindling. Adrian didn't interrupt. Not yet. He waited. Collected everything he needed. Stored the footage. Then, without warning, he stood, walked to their table and paused. Delilah's laughter died on her lips. Her face drained of all color. Elijah's posture shifted into alert tension. Adrian didn't flinch. He didn't shout. He simply looked at them both and said, "Enjoy it. This was your last night in the life you used to know." And he walked away. Back home he became the cipher again. Not a man. Function. Accounts, closed. Assets, relocated. Digital identities, scrubbed. Delilah tried to call, but the number no longer existed. Every account she touched bounced. Her cards declined. Her login credentials were invalid. The house, rented in his name only. The car, the savings, she had none. By the fourth day, the landlord called. "You have 5 days to vacate. The lease has been terminated." She begged, pleaded, explained, but the voice was mechanical, unmoved. She broke down, called Elijah. She told him everything, sobbed through the betrayal, the vanishing, the chaos. And Elijah, cold as stone, said, "Delilah, I live in a 1-bedroom. I don't have space for this." And just like that, the man she'd gambled it all for folded his hand and walked away. She packed what she could, shoved memories into bags, and went to the only place left, her mother's. And Adrian, he vanished. Not a trace, not a whisper. Some say he's still out there, sipping bitter coffee in a dusty European cafe, scanning the news for shadows no one else sees. Others believe he's erased everything, even his own name. But one thing is certain. When a ghost decides to disappear, no lock can hold him. And not even love can call him home. What's your take on this story? Let me know in the comments below, and if it struck a chord, make sure to check out the next video waiting for you on the channel. Until next time, stay safe and trust your instincts.